My next guest is British-Iranian actress Nazanin Boniadi. She says on Twitter, the Islamic Republic is aware that the Iranian people detest outside meddling. So for 43 years, they respond to mass protests by spreading propaganda that these are masterminded by anti-Iran forces, thus denying the people their autonomy. Don't fall for it, she said. And Nazanin joining me now via Skype tonight from Los Angeles. Your tweet is an interesting one. You essentially say that the Islamic Republic is falling back on old tactics, claiming that outside forces are meddling with the regime and supporting protesters. And we are certainly seeing some form from this Iranian government. How do Iranians lay claim to their autonomy at times like these?
Thanks for having me, Becky. I think the most important thing is, as Amnesty International has been calling for, is international response to call for an independent investigative mechanism to hold these human rights violators to account. We don't have adequate human rights governance to be able to do that. We had a very decisive and united response to Putin in Ukraine. We are not having the same for the Iranian government, and that's, you know, we've now had a 43-year case study of the Islamic Republic, and nothing has changed.
Well, not only is there no appetite, it seems, for what you've just suggested, but at the moment, I mean, it's stalled, but at the moment, the US, Washington, the EU3, and others trying to cut a deal with this government, trying to get back into the JCPOA. Iran has seen multiple protests that have been large-scale over the last 15 years. I'm not saying they happen on a regular basis, but we have seen them happen before. And as I said, the government, the authorities have form. They tend to describe these as rioters, blame the rioters for violence, and then they close down the internet. Off the back of that, we find out that things are really, really difficult on the ground once the internet is turned back on. Do you see these demonstrations as any more consequential or creating any further consequence for the people of Iran than those in the past?
Yes, I think these are unprecedented in the sense that in 2009, the people were calling for reform. They were calling for, they were demanding, where's my vote? Nobody was calling for this regime to be. But the sentiment changed in 2019 when we started to hear death to Khamenei, the supreme leader. And now we're seeing that escalated to toppling of patrol vans, protesters fighting back against security forces. And I want to be clear, these are not rioters. These are people who are being attacked by security forces, and they're simply fighting for their lives. They're innocent protesters. Also, you're seeing tearing down of banners of Qasem Soleimani, of the founder of the Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Khomeini. You're seeing the burning down of statues of masterminds and founders of the Islamic Republic. These are unprecedented. You're seeing women burning their headscarves for the first time, not just simply taking them off and waving them as they were in 2019. They are burning, they're dancing in the streets. They are demanding their freedom, but they're also demanding an end to the Islamic Republic. I will add that for many years we've called it the Islamic Republic of Iran. What we're seeing now is it's the Islamic Republic versus Iran.
That's fascinating. We know, given what we've seen before, that the government is not likely to make any concessions here. In fact, it is likely to be more repressive. Where does this go at this point? I mean, you're suggesting you really genuinely believe these are different. Are you confident that these protests get young, old Iranians somewhere at this point? And where is that?
The response we're seeing from the international community, I'm talking about the public in general, is very different. We've had more than 85 million tweets of Mahsa Amini's name, and I want to keep her name alive because she was the powder keg that ignited this. And that is significant because the population of Iran is just over 85 million. So what you're seeing is a greater global response in the same way that we saw to Neda al-Sultan, but I think elevated because you're seeing celebrities, Western celebrities joining this conversation now. So it's only hopefully a matter of time where Western leaders have to pay attention. Do they choose to side with the Islamic Republic and stand by them and continue shaking hands and smiling when talking to someone like Raisi, who's implicated in crimes against humanity? Or will they decisively stand with the people of Iran, help internet freedom inside Iran? These are the things we want: self-determination for the people of Iran. But there are acts, there are things that we can do that make it easier for them to fight. And I think they've had it. You repress a people enough, and they will take to the streets, and they will risk their lives.
We will absolutely stay across this story as you would expect us to do. Nazanin Boniadi, thank you very much indeed. Your perspective is hugely important this evening. Thank you.